Have you ever noticed this? You call your cat, and she just looks at you, not confused, not startled, just aware, like she heard you, processed it, and then quietly decided, no. Meanwhile, someone else walks into the room, and suddenly your cat is gone, or watching, or pretending to be furniture with opinions. And if you've ever thought, why does she act so selective? You're not imagining it. Because female cats don't just behave differently from male cats, they experience the world a little differently too. And here's where it gets slightly concerning. If you read their behavior the wrong way, you can accidentally stress them out, miss subtle warning signs, or completely misunderstand what they're trying to communicate. Not in an obvious, dramatic way, but in those quiet, easy-to-miss ways that build over time. The good news? Once you understand what's actually going on, a lot of that mystery attitude starts to make sense. And even better, you start noticing things you didn't see before. So let's get into it. 1. She's not bossy. She's managing the environment. Let's start with something that gets mislabeled all the time. That queen of the house energy. You know the look. The slow walk into a room, the pause, the scan. Like she's inspecting a property she definitely owns. It's easy to call that attitude. But here's the part most people miss. Female cats often take on what you could think of as a stability role. In natural cat groups, females tend to stay in one area. They raise kittens there. They build familiarity with that environment. So instead of roaming widely, they become experts in one space, which means your home isn't just where she lives. It's a system she understands. That's why when you move furniture, bring in new objects, or even change routines slightly, she notices, not dramatically, but internally, something shifts. And that attitude, that's often just her trying to remap a world that suddenly changed. And once you see that, something else starts to stand out. 2, the quiet observer effect. Have you ever caught your cat just watching? Not sleeping, not playing, just sitting somewhere slightly elevated, tracking everything. At first glance, it feels like nothing. But think about this for a second. While male cats often react quickly to movement, female cats are more likely to wait. They observe patterns, your schedule, your habits, the sound that comes before food appears. They're not disengaged. They're collecting information, which explains something subtle. Why your cat sometimes knows what you're about to do before you do it. You reach for your keys, and she's already watching the door. You walk toward the kitchen, and she appears out of nowhere. That's not coincidence. That's pattern recognition. And here's where it gets interesting. That same awareness affects how she interacts with you. 3, why she chooses her person and sticks to it. If you live in a multi-person household, you've probably noticed this. Your cat doesn't treat everyone equally. She might tolerate most people, but there's usually one person she chooses, follows, sleeps near, pays extra attention to. And no, it's not always the one feeding her. Female cats tend to form tighter, more selective bonds, not because they're less social, but because they're more specific. They invest their attention carefully, which means when your cat chooses you, that's not random. That's a decision built over time. Consistency, predictability, comfort. And once that bond forms, it tends to stick. Which also explains why some female cats seem distant with guests. They're not being unfriendly. They're just not expanding the circle. And that brings us to something even more subtle. 4, the invisible scent map. You didn't know you're in every time your cat rubs her face on something. Your phone, your chair, your leg. She's leaving behind chemical signals. Not visible, not obvious, but very real. Now here's the interesting part. Female cats often use these scent markers with surprising precision. They're not just marking randomly, they're building a map. This is familiar, this is safe system across your home. So when you clean everything thoroughly, move objects around, or remove those scent markers frequently. You may be unintentionally erasing parts of that map, which can lead to subtle stress. Not panic, just that quiet, unsettled feeling. And if you've ever wondered why your cat re-rubs the same spots after cleaning, yeah, she's basically restoring her version of order, which leads into something a lot of people misunderstand. 5. The she's aloof myth. Let's clear something up. Female cats aren't less affectionate, they're just less obvious about it. A male cat might jump onto your lap immediately. A female cat might sit nearby first. Watch. Wait. Then slowly move closer. Same outcome, different process. It's a more measured approach to interaction, which can look like distance when it's actually caution. And here's the part that changes how you see it. That extra step of observation, that's part of why their bonds can feel so strong. Because they don't rush into them, they build them. Now I'm curious, is your cat more of a quiet observer or a full-time supervisor? What gave it away? Now, this next one is something a lot of owners completely miss. 6. The hidden pain problem. This one matters most. This is the part that's easy to overlook because it doesn't look like anything at first. Female cats are extremely good at hiding discomfort, not because they're being difficult, but because in nature, showing weakness can be dangerous. So instead of obvious signals, you get small changes, a slightly different jump, a pause before climbing, less grooming in one area, nothing dramatic. But those tiny shifts, they add up. And by the time clear symptoms appear, the issue may have been there for a while. So this isn't about worrying constantly. It's about noticing patterns. Because the same awareness your cat uses to observe the world, you can use to understand her. And once you start paying attention, you begin to see those subtle signals much earlier, which leads to one more behavior that suddenly makes sense. 7. Why play feels so intense sometimes. Have you ever noticed how focused your cat gets during play? Especially with small, fast-moving toys? There's a reason for that. Female cats are often highly precise hunters. More patient, more calculated. They wait, track, and then strike with intention. So when your cat locks onto a toy and refuses to break focus, that's not just play, that's instinct, which is why random movement doesn't work as well. But controlled, prey-like motion, that gets her attention instantly. And once you see that pattern, playtime starts to feel a lot more like a conversation, instead of just entertainment. So remember that moment at the beginning. You call your cat and she just looks at you. Now it feels a little different, because that wasn't ignoring, that was evaluation. A quick internal checklist of, is this worth my energy? Is this relevant to me? Is this part of my world right now? And once you start seeing her behavior that way, the mystery fades a bit. What you're left with is something more interesting. A cat that's observant, selective, precise, and quietly building a version of the world that makes sense to her. And when you understand that, living with her gets a lot easier and a lot more fascinating. All right, I should probably go see why my cat just stopped everything to stare at nothing, like she's monitoring a situation I can't even detect. FurEver.